M0AUG, I'm just checking I've got the connection. G4IWO.
M0AUG from G4IWO.
You're coming through loud and clear, G5. Thanks a lot, Nick. Just one or two technical issues with this end. I think we've sorted it back in a few minutes. CQ. This is M0AUG calling all members and friends of the Denby Dale Amateur Radio Society for the Thursday evening digital net. Good to see quite a few people on the evening. I noticed that Nick at the moment is on both on the terminal mode and the amp, so we'll see how we go with that later on there, Nick. So up top of the list, we'll start off, and I'll give a call out to Paul G0TVB. I've been listening for a while. If you want to join us, Paul, this evening, please call on now. G0TVB and the group M0AUG. Nothing good from Paul, so we'll move up to the borders. GM4JKZ in the group M0AUG. Good evening, Keith. Nothing heard from Keith at the moment. Over to our friends in Northern Germany, DL1BJW with DL8BDT. Good evening, Mike. Please take it. Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Very good evening to all. I hope everybody is okay and well. And yeah, looking forward to this evening's meeting there. Sorry about that. Yeah, we are a little bit miffed here because of some health problems. As I mentioned in earlier meetings, we were looking very much forward to attending the M Radio exposition and exhibition in Friedrichshafen on Lake Constance at the end of June in a fortnight. And we have cancelled this, or we had to cancel this because of the problems I got with my gallbladder the last weekend. Had twice very nasty gallbladder colic and some appointments for the doctors later on, and yeah, the result is that I have to wait for a hospital appointment, which will fix a date for an operation of the gallbladder to take it out of my body. Bye. Sorry about that, but yeah, so it's a risk to with the stones they found there in the gallbladder to go south and have a long journey by car and then perhaps have difficulties in unknown surroundings, so to speak. And so we stay at home near our beloved hospital here locally and try to make the most of it. So that's it. I'm a little bit, I know the word, but I don't use it with a P on front. So that's it from my side here. Passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, very good evening. This is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. It's very good to hear you all this evening, and thank you very much for yesterday's Zoom meeting. It was quite interesting and gave us some new information. And So we are very glad to be with you here and on the air. And as Mike just said, it's good to have friends over the world, and it's a pity not to meet them at Friedrichshafen, but there will be another chance to go there next year, and I think this will be fine. So this for the first over here, I hand the microphone back to M0AUG for the group.
BDT with the L1 BJW, and thanks for your over there. And sorry to hear about the medical reasons that Mike. And we're in a similar position, aren't we, with what's been going on this end. And you know, our sincere wishes that everything goes according to plan there. And as long as you get yourself right for the next Friedrichshafen next year, that's what matters. The hospitals over here at the moment have been remarkably good for what we've been experiencing, but we've still got a long way to go as well. So thanks for your comments as well, and also your friendship, which is reciprocated. Over to you there, ADG6MJQ in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG, G6MJQ, in a chilly, cold, rainy, dull West Yorkshire, scum of West Yorkshire. Oh dear, we had a decent day yesterday and we were able to get some gardening done, but today, this afternoon in particular, was a washout, literally. So, yeah. Oh, I noticed on the WhatsApp group, Fraser sends his apologies. They're still working in the garden, just in case Nick missed that one. It was fairly late on, it appeared. Yeah, Mike, sorry to hear about the gallbladder. It's quite painful, isn't it? I had mine removed several decades ago, and by keyhole surgery. But I had to wait a time before they would operate because it was inflamed. So I had to go on a strict diet, no fat diet, which was great. I lost some weight, I felt a lot fitter, and I wasn't getting the pains. But mine first came on when I was at a conference and helping with some teaching there. And it wasn't a good thing. Too many fatty breakfasts and big dinners in the evening. Yeah, nothing to do with the wine. Yeah, so I hope we get it sorted quickly. But yeah, I was Sylvia picked me up in the car afterwards, and it was quite painful in my shoulders because with keyhole you can get trapped gas in your diaphragm, and it's quite painful in your shoulders. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it is a known problem. So I just couldn't bear to be in the car going home. I said to Sylvia, oh, for goodness sake, stop. Down country lanes in this country. Yeah, so I hope it goes well there. And yeah, thanks for the talk last night. I really do I'll be honest, I didn't fully take it all in, and maybe my expectations were a bit more, because, I have used PSK Reporter and got as far as downloading the log files from it, but haven't progressed to what to analyse, the AIF files, etc. So we will see. I could do with looking through the PowerPoint. Sorry about the length of the over. Yeah, I could do with looking at the PowerPoint, and even if you send a link, change it to PDF so it's protected. Yes, and I will look through it again and refer to that while I'm playing around. Anyway, that's it for now. More comments later. Back to you, Jeff, M0AUG, B67JQ.
G6MJQ in the group, M0AUG today. Yeah, fine enough today. I wasn't able to join the meeting last night, but I'm hoping to pick it up on the YouTube channel sometime over the weekend. Quite a bit going on, as I'm sure you know. So next on the list, I'm just going to put a call out and see if anybody is listening on GB7HX repeater and they want to join us. So if anybody's listening on GB7HX and want to join the Denby Dale Digital Net for the evening, please call in now. Nothing heard from via GB7HX. Over to you there, Andrew, in Minehead. Already had a text, as you know, from or an email from Dave to say that he's had a fall and banged his head. I did check with him, as you know, that he wasn't going anything stupid like going up ladders, but it was stairs, so there we are. Over to you, Andrew, in Minehead. M0ROL in the group, M0AUG. M0AUG in the group, M0ROL, yeah. Thanks, Jeff, and good evening to everyone on there tonight. And sorry to hear about your predicament, Mike. I hope you can soon get sorted out. And let's hope the delays that we experience in the UK aren't as bad as getting them in Germany. But yes, I only heard tonight about Dave and sort of falling head first down some stairs. I'm not certain what caused it, but he still got up and drove his presumably Bristol and back. So I'll give him a call tomorrow to see how we. Not an awful lot to report from this end. It's cold. Winter's come back. Thinking about putting the central heating back on. The rain was actually quite good because a lot of drying out. So that's not all bad news, but it's not warm at the moment. I have a duty, minibus duty at the National Trust tomorrow morning, and hoping it's going to be a little bit warmer than it has been today. But there we are. I think that next week we're going to get some more warm weather again. So anyway, back to you, Jeff, M0AUG in the group, M0ROL. M0ROL in the group, M0AUG. Just a few dropouts there, Andrew, almost like it was overdriving the hotspot, but I don't know whether that is or not. But we were able to understand the conversation all the way through, and yeah, apparently Dave was with a passenger, and they opened the door, which went in the wrong direction, and it sounds like he and the passenger both fell down some steps, and the passenger went to hospital, but Dave declined, so there we go. That's all I know at this stage. Wishing both well anyway, so there we are, both Dave and his passenger. Over to you there, Nick. At the moment, I can see that you're logged on with a dongle, and you're also logged on to terminal mode. So surprise me and tell me what you're going to come back today. G4IWO in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, I'm logged on in two devices because I wanted to see whether I could stream live on YouTube on one, monitoring the 705, and come in on the DV stick as an alternative entry route. I tried this out the other day with Jeff ON8NT, and he thought that the quality of my transmission was better on this dongle than through the 705 with fewer dropouts. So let's see if that proves to be the case tonight. Also, we've had apologies, Bob, from Bob N4XAT. He won't be home until, I don't think, early next week now, so he's hoping to join us next week, which will be very good after his very, very difficult time away with the family issues that he's been dealing with. So good evening to everyone listening on YouTube tonight. Rachel M1AYG has popped up there. Good evening to you, Rachel. Good to have you in company and hope you enjoy listening. And good evening or good day to those people who listen to this later during the week. Lots happened in the last week, hasn't it? So our little hardy group went up onto, including Rachel, went up onto Black Hill last Saturday in what I described as relatively challenging conditions. We had driving rain when I first arrived at the point for taking off, and then the weather conditions improved a bit as we made the ascent. When we got to the top, the heavens opened again. It was very windy and cold, as it is currently here where I live. Very similar to yours, AD, over in Skelmanthorpe. We're in the Southern Pennines, both of us, of course, but I'm just over a big lump of hill between you and me, radio terms anyway. But the weather has been exactly the same. Okay this morning, and then rain and wind again this afternoon. And really sorry to hear, Mike, you weren't able to get down to Friedrichshafen. I half expected you to log in to say that you were already there staying somewhere and logging in before you went over to the exhibition tomorrow. So that's a great shame, but I'm sure it's not going away. And finally, Ari KC9TC has sent me through today the PDF of his presentation last night, so I'll make that available along with the video as soon as I get a chance to do that tomorrow. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group M0AUG returning. Yes, fine on that, Nick. If I have to make a comment, the audio coming through on the dongle isn't as crisp as you would normally get if you were coming through on terminal mode. I don't know what the term is, whether it's flat or not. It's certainly not as crisp. Perfectly understandable, and absolutely no dropouts at all. So I just pass the comment on for what it's worth there. Right, over to Belgium now, and Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group. Good evening, Jeff. Hope all is well with you.
Mike 0, AUG, the group for an 8 November Tango. Very good evening to everyone here on the net, and also to everyone on the YouTube channel. I think Rachel is there, and maybe Bob will listen in later, and some others. So that's very nice to have them there. Okay, well, first of all, a comment on Nick. Nick, no breakouts in your transmission. Like Jeff said, the modulation is a little bit, on the lower side, the lower tones. It's lower. Yeah, but it's perfect. I think it's perfect. It's 100% copy. Because 2 days or 3 days ago, I was listening to my ID51, which gives another experience, and now I'm with the 9700. Okay, so weather-wise, 18 degrees, dry, wind, well, okay, we can live with that. So no trouble at all. Tomorrow we will get some rain, but anyway. And sorry to hear, Mick and Adriana, about the medical problems there, and about Friedrichshafen. That's a real shame. That's really, really, really shame. I have my part of problems also, but not that bad as you have, Mike. We had a trouble with the fridge freezer, which is in one unit, which broke down. Lucky enough, it was still under guarantee, under the 2 years guarantee, so we will get a new one. That's the good news, because this was the second time in 3 months that it was broken down. So that is really a shame. But anyway, we will get a new one. We just wait to be delivered. But we have another fridge freezer in the garage, down in the underground garage, so we can leave. It's a little bit like camping, but anyway, we survive. Okay, though. The Zoom session yesterday, yeah, I really like that. I learned some new things, also some new things to look for example, stations in your locator. Very interesting. That's really and those new Spotty and FT8 Live, I didn't know about the existence of that. So really interesting, and I'm looking forward to the PowerPoint, to the PDF PowerPoint, to have that as a background documentation. Okay, no, that's all for now. Let's put it back to you, Jeff. M0AUG, the group over 8 November Tango.
November Tango in the group M0AUG returning. Yes, fine, that, Jeff, and thanks for the update. I'm sorry to hear about the fish freezer. We had a similar event a few months ago and got ours replaced, but there we are. I'm just replying back to Fraser. Right, okay, not a problem. I don't need to bother about that. That is Keith I should be replying to, not Fraser. So, mistake on my part. So I'll go back up to Scotland and see if Keith's with us any further now. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AUG. Nothing heard from Keith, and I can't meet between the two contacts there. So what was the one in Northern Germany again? DL1BJW with DL8BDT. Back over to you, Mike. Yeah, thank you. DL1BJW returning. Yeah, radio-wise, our week was not so exciting, not so busy, because of other things, of course. But nevertheless, we managed to put a 6-meter dipole, a plain 6-meter dipole below the tiles and the loft up, and it works very well. I can report that it works without any tuning on 6 meters, and with a little bit of tuning from the IC7300, but no great problem. Also excellent on 4 meters. And actually, I've had some nice contacts on 6 meters and on the 4 meters in FT8, both bands with this dipole. It's nothing much, and of course it doesn't provide any gain, but it works. And signs or signals via FT8 on these two bands could be heard from middle Sweden or middle Scandinavia and Scotland down to Malta and Spain and Majorca, for example. So this is really satisfying and very good to have that. And it's very inconspicuous because it's below the tiles, so it's indoors, but nevertheless working well. And yeah, at CW, there was only one station I was glad to reach. That was a VU station from India on 20 meters with our antenna in the garden, the Anfield half-wave. It's also a good contact, but otherwise nothing much to report, I'm afraid. So passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Yes, thank you very much for your kind wishes. So I hope that that next year we will go to Friedrichshafen again. And yes, what a pity that Dave has the accident there. All good wishes from us to him. If you talk to him there, radio-wise, on my side, there's not much to report, but good news from the guy who is repairing the G90. Oh, good or not really good. But I will receive the transceiver back with very much tomorrow, and it will be repaired. But there has to be a new, I think it's called a circuit for the receiving side. There was a greater issue there, and it was not enough to remove only some parts, but one has to exchange the whole circuit on the receiving side. But this work is done, and it should work, so let's keep our fingers crossed that it will work. And yes, during the weekend on Saturday, we tried to hear you on the band while you have made your POTA excursion. So what a pity about the weather there. Weather conditions have been very, very bad on your side. And yes, we managed to work Ken there. And we heard Nick but very weak, and we haven't been able to work you, Nick. But yes, let's hope for better times. So with this, I hand the microphone back to M0AUG for the group.
BDT with the L1BJW. Thanks for the contributions, and good to hear the loft antenna is working quite well. As you say, nobody knows it's there because it's in the loft, and that's equally good. And finally on the Shago, and I hope that when it comes back in here, give it a test, Adriana, that it's working as you want, and I hope it's been fixed. Maybe in a different way, but maybe at least it's fixed and working. Look forward to next week's report on that one. Over to you there, 8226MJQ in the group, M0AUG. M0AUG, 26MJQ. Before I forget, Andrew, give my regards to Dave. We've had a couple of phone conversations. Last time, I think we were on for nearly an hour, but that was a month or so back. So I haven't spoken with him like recently, but give him my regards. If he wants a natter, tell him to give me a ring. That's that. Yeah, and the G90. Wow. I don't know whether that's the first one I've heard where it needed repairing, but maybe I'm not familiar with too many of them. But yeah, I'm sort of tempted to get one myself, to use as a mobile because of the 20 watts, and go out and park in lay-bys. And part of that is encouragement from listening to Ken last Saturday. I was a bit late on the game on Saturday, Nick, and I didn't hear you on Black Hill. But I did hear, well, Ken was very much in the back of the radio, but Adriana, I did hear you working, Ken, but you were in and out, you were readable, perfectly readable, but then you go right down with the QSB, so yeah, and that was in the lay-by car park at the side of the road there, so yeah, but 40, 40's been rubbish in the daytime, and then I go on in the evening. I don't know whether it was, several days ago. I was on turned 40 on at about 11 o'clock at night, and lots of activity into G, near Europe, etc. And unfortunately, I didn't work anybody because I don't have a shack as such. It's in the corner of the living room, so I was listening with headphones on while Sylvie was watching the TV, and she was doing a bit of late night watching as well. So yes, but very interesting the fact that how it booked up. And then a couple of nights later, 20 was still active way past midnight. Station coming in from the Caribbean there, so all good stuff. And yeah, sorry about the fridge freezer. Just take a bit. XMJQ. We had exactly the same situation some months back. Have the builders in the garage, and I think they moved it, or the electrician did, to do some wiring, put cabling in for the extension. And it didn't survive the move, let's put it that way, and wouldn't go down in temperature. So we've had to replace that. But luckily we have another one in the kitchen. So like you, we have two, one in the kitchen and one where I might say below stairs in the garage. It's down a few steps from the utility room. So yeah, we were able to survive, and with the help of taking food to the daughter, and great stuff on the 6-meter dipole there, Mike. Right, yeah, look forward to seeing the PDF file, Nick. Yeah, maybe I was tired and I couldn't take it all in. That's why I'm asking for it, really, if I'm honest. So look forward to that and see where we go from there. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG, G6MJQ.
G6MJQ in the group, M0AUG turning F and all that. And obviously I missed the presentation last night, so I look forward to receiving my PDFs as well to go with it. And I was very pleased last Saturday from the home QTH here on 2 meters. We're almost down at sea level where we are, to be able to work the station on the top of Black Hill there when Paul M1 M0AIA was actual fact on the van there. So I had a call with M0AIA, and Paul and I had a couple of chats on that, and I was able to get the station and put it on the cluster as well. So whether that helps or not, I don't know, but it was another contact for the club there. Right, back down to you there, Andrew. M0RL in the group, M0AUG.
Yeah, M0AUG in the group, M0RL. Lady, I'll pass your good wishes over to Dave, and also Andrew Ellis as well. So when I'll give him a call tomorrow. Radio-wise, well, I did a Raynet event on Saturday up on the Mendips. It was quite successful. It was 500. Well, no, it's 250 plus riders took part, and I was put in control. So I was busy quite for most of the day. Got another event on Saturday, which is a Parkinson walk for Blaze Castle. So Raynet are putting on the radio communications matter, though in previous years there's not an awful lot of activity that goes on. And the latest thing I went over to Lynmouth yesterday, taking some photographs. I took a film camera over, and I developed the film this afternoon. Got some new developer and things that came, and I have to say I'm very disappointed with the state of the negatives. I don't normally suffer from dust, but there seems to be a little bit of dust on them. But the film I'm using, they've had problems with the emulsions in the past. I'm just wondering whether that's what's causing some of the problems. But thankfully, with Lightroom, once you scan into Lightroom, you can get rid of a lot of the dust and things. But no, it's compared to the last one I took the week before. This is wouldn't pass the quality control test to say the least, really. But there we are. That's film for you. Digital, you don't quite have so many problems unless you've got dust on your sensor. But there we are. That's me that wants to stick with the old traditional way of taking photographs. So I'll put some up on Flickr a bit later on. And that's about all that I've been doing this week, Jeff. So I'll pass it back to you, M0AUG in the group, M0ROL.
M0ROL in the group, M0AUG turning. Yes, fine on that, Andrew, and I did wish Dave all the best on the emails when we were talking earlier on. fine on film on photography. When I was doing professional photography, social photography, weddings, etc., back in the early 80s, obviously after you'd been out of the weekend taking the photographs, there was always the trepidation until you got the results on the Wednesday or Thursday that the film had actually turned out. So obviously when digital came out, those sort of issues sort of went out of the window. But the quality of film was very, very good indeed, and I used to use decent 6x6 cameras and things like that. So we did get some good results, and did do one or two. I won't say society weddings, but one or two prestige weddings connected with people who were in the public media at the time. So that's going back to me from the early 80s. Over to you there, Nick. G4IWO in the group, M0AG.
M0AG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, all copied, and thank you for the audio reports. It's probably the quality of the microphone that I'm using on the DV connection here, which is not as good as the Icon 705 mic. And yeah, it's a great pity we didn't have very good radio conditions as well last weekend. We decided beforehand we would only use 7 megahertz SSB and 2 meters FM, because that's what the radiometers over in Wales for their SOTA activity day were using primarily. So we thought we'd try and fit in with what they were doing. But the conditions just didn't really present themselves for us to properly take advantage of trying maybe some different modes and different frequencies on HF, mainly because of the driving rain and having to cover the radio with a piece of tarpaulin and stick my head underneath it and operate that way. It was not the easiest of operating places. Nowhere to sit, of course. It was tricky. It was good fun, but very tricky. But yeah, we were about 600 meters. That's that summit, not very large in European mountains, but it's the largest hill in West Yorkshire and one of the SOTA summits. And Ken was probably a couple of 100 meters lower than us on the main road, which you can see from the top of the hill. And he was, as you know, operating the G90 into a Ampro whip on top of the car, and having quite a lot of success. Although, as everyone's been saying this evening, at the moment, sadly, HF conditions haven't been very good, have they? Which is a great disappointment. I've been over in Liverpool for the last couple of days. My daughter moved home, and we went over to help, and ended up assembling furniture as you do, and then going back again on Tuesday to try and sort out their broadband issues, which in the end turned out to be nothing to do with the wiring. It was down to BT, which is what I'd suspected when we were there, to be perfectly frank. Yeah, it's. I'm hoping, by the way, particularly for Mike and Adriana and Jeff, because you always like to get a contact in, and of course I did get my obligatory contact in with Jeff from the top of Black Hill last Saturday. I'm gonna, if the weather stays as it's forecast to be next Wednesday, we're going to have a sunny day, not particularly warm, but no rain. I'm going to go out and do a bit of Parks on the Air up on the Pennine Bridle Way behind the house here. So I'll put all the radios in my rucksack and have a wander up there in the afternoon and see who we can work. But I'll post all the information about that on WhatsApp. And I forgot to say to Mike and Adriana in particular that we had no mobile connection at all from the summit of Black Hill, so we were unable to post any updates of changes of frequency and so on, which was a bit of a shame. But Jeff ON8NT sent me a little dodge that people have used to send a message to send out an alert, and I'll try and follow that, Jeff. I haven't had a chance to play with those instructions that you sent through to me. So, and just the final bit, talking about the Zygu radios, I see that the Zygu 6200 is now being trailed, which is going to be arriving in the UK in, I think, next month. So that will be interesting when that comes out, if they really have made an improvement on the 6100. Of course, it's become more expensive. I think Martin Lynch is going to sell it for about £800. So it's, you know, it's creeping up in price. No longer quite the bargain radios that the Zygus were when they first came out. Anyway, back to you, Jeff. M0AG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group, M0AG return. Yeah, this often happens, doesn't it, with marketing? You know, the price starts off at quite low until people get used to a particular product, and then as revised models come out and this sort of thing, the prices tend to increase. But it's still a long, long way before it'll get near to the price of a 705, and obviously you've got the 20 watts as well. They do look a good radio, and I know Eddie speaks well of his 6100, and interesting to see how that develops on there. And I hope, Adriana, when the G90 comes back as well, that's sorted for you. Yeah, I was assuming about the mobile signal on the top of Black Hill, and I know what that's like actually, because when we used to go over the Hilton Club onto Kinder Scout, very, very difficult to get a telephone signal from the top there, even though we were sort of over 1,000 feet above sea level up there when doing the practical wireless contest many years ago. In our younger days, shall we say. So thanks for that, Nick, and thanks to the team for putting the event on. It was certainly worthwhile, and worthwhile having the contacts as well, especially with Ken down in the lay-by there. And I hope, Eddie, when I send you the details of the history of the lay-by and its associated property, that was of interest as well. Right, back to the top of the list again. I will give Keith a call just in case he's back with us again now, and then if not, we'll move to Mike and Adrian again. GM4JKZ in the group, M0AEG. Nothing earlier from Keith. So DL1BJW with DL8BDT. Over to you there, please, Mike. M0AEG in the group.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Yeah, Nick, we will be looking out for you on the upcoming Wednesday with your outdoor activity. Perhaps we get a contact. We'll try anyway. And yeah, I'm always surprised to hear about all the activity going on in the UK on 2 meters. It's here in northern Germany, it's quite the opposite. It's absolutely quiet on the SSB bands on 2 meters and 70 centimeters. There is some activity going on, especially at holiday times, on the repeaters, on FM repeaters here. Lots of hams coming up from the south, wanting to holiday here at the coast or on the islands, and they take their handhelds with them, and so it gets a little bit livelier then. But otherwise, it's quite, yeah, let's call it as it is, dead on the 2 meter and 70 cents. But this changes as one progresses to the south of Germany. It's a kind of, it's a question of topography. Here everything is very, very flat, and there are no hills whatsoever. The next small mountains are about, I'd say, 300 kilometers to the south and to the southeast, and from there on, further on to the south, up to the Alps, of course, there are lots of small or middle mountains, and the Alps, of course, are very good topography for 2 meters and 70 centimeters, especially from there where Nick has been several times on holiday. And I haven't been on 2 meters and 70 cents for such a long time that I don't even remember when it was. But it's a pity. One should be a little bit more active there. That's so far from my side. Passing the microphone to DL8PDT.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Yes, we are looking forward to catch you up on the air, Nick. This will be fine, perhaps with the G90 if it works. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And yes, during the last days, there was no possibility to do something radio-wise, but we still have some plans, putting out antennas in our garden and so on. And the Delta Loop for 6 meters waits to be built by me. I have assembled by me, and some parts I just bought, and so there. I think I will report next time. Which plans have which plans have succeeded, and so I have the microphone back to M0AUG for the.
DL8PDT with DL1BJW in the group M0AUG returning. Yes, you come up with correct there, Mike. The contact I had with them on Black Hill, I can't remember the last time I actually, properly used 2 meters FM there. And I tend to use the FM with the open spot or whatever to monitor the D-star things and the radio on the 5100. But I rarely actually use it for other things other than the local net. Really try to catch up with what it's capable of. And I thought it was quite interesting because one of the members of the Oldham Club actually heard me on the contact with Paul up on Black Hill, and he was amazed that because we were pretty well down at sea level, that I was actually able to make the contact at all, because he thought I was back in the local area over in the Oldham area, which is where we used to live, rather than being in the current QTH. So that's a good incentive for trying to play around a bit more, I think, anyway. Over to you there, AD. G6MJQ in the group M0AUG.
M0AUG, T6MJQ. Yeah. I haven't heard a signal, a sideband signal on 2 meters for some time, certainly not while I've been up here. I can't remember it one, but definitely some 2 meter signals the other week. Was it Mills on the air? Whereas way back in the day, in the late 1980s, I used to take my FT290R on the hills, sling it over your shoulder with a carrier bag, and they go up on the hills, and absolutely remarkable, just with 2 watt sideband. And we also used it for contest working as the receiver, because I built a set RF preamp to improve the receive slightly and get a better signal to noise ratio. And we used it for contests, but driving a valve 400 watt linear, and into 2 ZL special 17 element ZL special antennas on a 40-foot mast, something like that, with Armstrong technique for rotating it, and lots of guy ropes, because on hilltops, yeah, it was not always calm weather. That takes me back a bit. And on the photography, I was in Cleethorpes the other day and went to the van, Hannah's static van there, and there's a camera shop there, and I noticed about 2 or 3 film cameras in the window. I thought, oh, somebody's still using them. And then I thought, where are mine? I've got a Fujifilm one and a Zenith, old Zenith one, which was built like a brick shed, for want of better words. And I think I don't know whether I skipped them or sent them, or they might be in the loft, I don't know. I either skipped them or sent them to the British Art Foundation for charity sales. Which I haven't now. But how do you get them processed? I know you use black and white, so I process black and white at home, so but never colour. So I guess, Andrew, you process the black and white ones yourself. I don't know what you do about the coloured ones. Just take it. G6MJQ. Yeah, and I wouldn't have survived on that over with you, Nick. Sterling effort there, because since I've lost quite a bit of weight, I really feel the cold and being diabetic. You know, I would have just given up. I couldn't have done it. I could, on a good day, I can walk up it. I could walk up it, but it would have been just the wet and the cold. So, yeah. And the X6200, there are some partial reviews around. FT8 built in, but receive only, whereas I've got the 6100 working on receive and transmit with the Russian software. It looks a cheaper case. The 6100, there's a lot of metal. Looks like they put more plastic in the case or more non-metals in the case. And that could be to help the Wi-Fi performance, because it's pretty grim on the because of all the metal on the 6100. So we will see. So around £800, isn't it? That sort of figure. Whereas at 6100, I paid 585, something like that, for it. So it's gone up a fair bit. And I know the 6200 has band and FM broadcast, etc. But I think it could hopefully a lot of room for improvement. So we'll let everybody beta test it like they did with the 6100 and see what we end up with. Right, with food. Yeah, so back to you, Jeff, M0AUG, G6MJQ.
G6MJQ in the group, M0AG returning. Yeah, fine, Matt Haley. It'll be interesting to see how the new Shago was out. I know you spent a lot of time with yours using the different firmware, etc. And I know you've got quite a bit of experience with that model, so be interested to hear how things go on with the 6200. And certainly the price level indicates that it's, to me, it might have some extra features, but the price index tells me that it's certainly getting in popularity. Probably me just being a little cynic. Okay, over to you there, Andrew. M0ROL in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group, M0ROL. Lady, going back to your question over developing, black and white. I did myself, and Jeff, I also used today or yesterday. I was using that 6x6. I was using a twin lens camera for a change. I've got a number of the cameras that take the 120 film. One of which is a 1936 folding camera,
which, believe it or not, takes excellent pictures. One of the light leaf I had. I've got a couple of Yashica twin lens cameras, which I've had for a good number of years, and I've also got a Hasselblad 500 cm, which is quite a beast of a thing, but takes excellent pictures, and a Mamiya 645. So I'm quite into sort of medium format on that one. And yeah, the sort of black and white is easy to develop at home. I have to say, I use a new developer today, which is called 510 Paro, and an alkaline fixer. But I use a film called Film Pound, which has been having problems with emulsions, and you look at the light areas and it's a complete and utter mess. I've had to crop out most of the sky on the ones which I've just been processing and uploaded to Flickr. Colour, well, I sent some colour film away a couple of weeks ago to a lab in Bristol that came absolutely covered in dust. So I hit the roof with them, and they denied the fact that they had problems, and they wouldn't accept the fact that if you got dust embedded in the emulsion, the only way they can get it into the emulsion if it was wet. So they won't be used again. But processing colour film is actually a lot easier now than it used to be. You can get a C41 kit. You have to keep the developer within about half a degree, quarter to a half degree centigrade, and the rest of the chemicals within a couple of degrees around that. But that's not too much of an issue. But I don't tend to take colour. It's easier just to run that to the digital camera. But black and white is quite good fun on that one. But yeah, I always get a bit disappointed sometimes when I see it. But it keeps me out of mischief, and I'm going to try another film through, which is going to be Ilford HP5 probably the next couple of days, to see whether I get the same problem with the emulsion. It could be that the fixer, which is a non-hardening fixer, makes the emulsion a bit soft, so when you sort of squeeze it down after washing it, it may sort of damage it. But there we are. A fine cry from radio, I have to say, and I was disappointed, Nick, that I couldn't take my HF kit with me on the Mendip. I was sort of busy all day, and I wouldn't be able to try and get hold of you on HF, but there will be another time. But anyway, back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group, M0 ROL.
0 ROL in the group, M0 AUG turning fine on the cameras now, Andrew. I used to have a couple of Hasselblad 500 cm bodies with a variety of lenses and different backs. Some to take the 12 exposure, some to take the 24 exposure of the 6x6 film. Also, Mamiya C330 it was, Brolica, and Yashica as well. So similar cameras, similar times there. And finally, that P5, that was always a good black and white film. So success with that. I did enjoy looking through your gallery on the internet, by the way. Very well done. Over to you then, Nick. G4IWO in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Can you hear me okay now, Jeff? Is the audio okay? Over.
Yes, the audio is much better now, Nick. Just, if I can comment, it's just slightly muffled, but 100% better than the previous one. Back to you.
Yeah, Roger, Jeff. Thank you very much. I just swapped up for the microphone and see if that made a difference. Just found another one. Yeah, as to the portable activities, I mean, I was very pleased overall with Black Hill. 4 of us went up to the top of the hill, and 3 people, so Ken, G4VZV, Gerald, G3SDY, and Kevin, G1FYS, were all operating from the roadside, and I think everyone really did enjoy it, even though Roger, G4UFZ, was complaining about feeling very sore and unfit after that walk up. But anyway, I'm sure we'll do something similar again fairly soon. And good evening to Andy, 2E0REE, who's on YouTube listening to us. Good to see you, Andy. And Andy was making the comments when we were talking about how poor HF has been, that there's been some very good 2-meter dropout and some 2-meter openings and 77s openings as well, which is very good. And going back, Mike, to your comments about 2 meters, I mean, FM is still relatively cheap. It's in use a lot for people doing parks on the air and SOTA for the obvious reasons, and you can take up a very, very small amount of kit with you. But 2-meter sideband and 2-meter CW really only comes to life when there's an opening on 2 meters or there's a contest on. The RSGB runs a regular activity contest, and 2 meters sideband suddenly comes into a lot of use. So it's a shame, really, but hopefully no one's going to take either 2 meters or 77s off us in any changes of the licensing conditions in this country. So we will be going back for a field day in July. I'm just sorting out the date with the farm owners, and I'll let everyone know, but probably mid-July, one of the weekends, either a Saturday or Sunday, we'll pop over to Farnley Tyres and have another field day there. Although there has been a problem when they were operating the special event call for the D-Day commemoration last week. When they came to put the antenna back down again, the brake failed on the tower. So Phil's been in contact with the club treasurer to say that we're going to have to replace the braking system on that tower, and we've given approval, obviously, for that to be done. It's obviously has to be done to make use of it, and for safety reasons as well. So hopefully that will be sorted very soon. So back to you, Jeff. 0AG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group, M0AG returning, and good evening to Andy and to Rachel on the YouTube channel there, and obviously to anybody else who picks it up on the recording afterwards. And it's good to have you joining us one way or another. Yeah, it was definitely a good event, that was, Nick, and we look forward to being able to take part in the next one. I can't paint things are easy at the moment, but we're getting there. We're getting there with things, and lots of medical appointments going on. Over to you there, Jeff. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, M0AG.
M0AUG, the group, 8 November. First of all, yeah, Nick, it's better. Your modulation is better. It's more pronounced. It's going in the right direction. So, yeah, this is another thing that you have in the toolbox there. Very good. Okay. First of all, Andrew, give my best regards to Dave. I hope that he gets a speedy recovery and everything will be okay. And it's fun, Adrian, that you mentioned that you're sitting in the living room. I'm actually also sitting in the living room while my wife is looking to the television. This is an agreement we made. My wife wants me to be in the living room, not in another room. We have an extra room here that I could have used, but that has become the woman cave. Hi. So that's the situation here. Anyway, so that's also the reason why I'm using mostly digital modes, because you can operate in total quietness, so to say. So that's the situation. Also, a very good day to Andy and to Rachel on YouTube. Very nice that you have found a way to this this way of communicating with us. And okay, I really enjoyed the POPA activity, and I was able to work Cap and Nick. So I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It was absolutely fun, and I hope to catch you again Wednesday, probably. Nick, I'm not sure what's on the agenda Wednesday, but anyway, if I'm home, I will try to watch you. I have been mostly on 6 meters during the last couple of days, and on 4 meters, and on 6 meters I managed to work Echo Alpha 8, 3 stages actually. I think that was on the late Tuesday evening. Yeah, must be on the late Tuesday evening. And also Echo Alpha 9 in Charlie November, and of course a whole bunch of European stations. And I'm sure, Mike, with your dipole, you will be able to work them also if you are there on the right moment. And very nice that you can tune your dipole to 4 meters. That's actually what I've done with with my vertical. I can also tune it to 4 meters. But I also have for 4 meter what they call a halo antenna. I think from Moonraker, by the way. I got that from Moonraker in the UK. If you look that up, a halo antenna, I think it's 50 centimeters on 50 centimeters. It's horizontal. And it works very well. I worked also Echo Alpha 8 with that antenna and some other goodies too. So I think that's an interesting option and not too expensive actually. And also congratulations, Mike, on working Victor Uniform 2 and CW. I actually haven't worked that much Victor Uniform stations. I don't know why, but that doesn't seem to work in one way or another. And great, Adriana, that you have your G90 back in Spain, back at home. Okay, I have been working also on a dashboard, on a ham dashboard, and we will probably have some more news about this in the future. I developed it a little bit as a tool for members or new members and existing members of the club. It's actually a screen with 12 panes, so they call that, with different information on propagation, on mixing, on the ISS and things like that, and some more goodies. So we probably will come back to that later and see how we can going to use that in a club environment. Okay, back to you, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG, the group, 08 November Tango.
November Tango in the group, 0 AUG. And he is fine on that, Jeff, and also fine on the woman curve. There you go. And I know you do very, very well with the conditions that you've got there. And thanks for the updates on all the things that you've been doing. And also we look forward to seeing what's coming on the development that you've been doing as well. An interesting collection of ideas and things this evening, and it's nice to have the usual gang on there as well. Chairman Keith couldn't make it from the borders. He did sign in earlier on. I will give him a call in a couple of minutes now and see where we go from there. And when you come back on at the end, Nick, just let me know again, please, why you decided to go for the dongle as opposed to the digital mode. Maybe something to do with the Wi-Fi. And you might have mentioned it. Apologies for that if you have. Okay, I think it's probably time that we start on finals. So I will give Keith a call in the borders and see if he's with us this evening before we go back to Northern Germany. Here for JKZ in the group, M0AUG.
Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Thank you very much for this interesting evening and for all your good wishes. And yes, greetings also to Rachel and to all the others who are listening at the YouTube channel. Yes, we hope to meet you again down the log soon and on the next digital net. So I have the microphone back to M0 AUG for the group 73 and 88 from Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango with Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey in the group M0 AUG returning. Thank you both for your contributions this evening, and everybody is wishing you well there, Mike, and hearing your progress and recovery, of course. Interestingly, on the QL100, the latest version from TX Factor, in actual fact, spends quite a bit of time on part one of accessing the TX, the QL100 from the TX Factor there. So that's something that's just published. You can probably get that on the RSGB website if you need the link there. So 7388, thank you, Jenna, and look forward to catching up with you again next week. Over to you for your final lady, G6MJQ in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG, G6MJQ. Yeah, I too was going to mention that. I saw the first part of the TX Factor video. I think it's on YouTube, isn't it, as well? I think I got it from YouTube. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how you get on with the transverter. The first part was just setting up the antenna, etc., Mike, and not really using it. But the setup and adding the receive element to the antenna, the cool receiver antenna part of it, whatever you call it. And that magic word, Hasselblad. Oh, that was my dream camera I always wanted. I had some old twin lens jobs where you won, square format film. Yeah, I'll stop verbling on about it, but yes, but the Hasselblad was the one that I really wanted. But as a student, it wasn't going to happen. No, this was years ago. Obviously, years and years and years ago. Yeah. What else? Very briefly, 2 meters threat, I'll put a comment. I've seen there's some comments somewhere on the internet about 2 meters could be in threat, but not the 77s. So we must use it, must try and use it more. So, and I look forward to hopefully getting back to Farnley Tyres again. Well, I haven't been there for a time now. It's always occurred when I've been doing other things, Cleethorpes or wherever. And Yeah, I really enjoyed it today, and apologies I'm not always off, but I'm chief cook some nights, etc. So we ate early. We had a microwave meal early tonight, so we slumped it slightly, but it was worth it. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Jeff. And 7-3s, everybody. Have a good week. From G6MJQ, M0AUG, G6MJQ, Skelman's West Yorkshire.
G6MJQ in the group. No doubt in a soggy Skelman for M0AUG. Not quite as soggy over on the South Coast there. Thanks for your contribution this evening, Eddie, and good to hear the results on that. The comments on the Shaker for those who are looking at the 6200, and look forward to catching up with you on Sunday morning if failing that this next week. So thanks again, and I will see you there, Andrew, for your final. M0ROL in the group, M0AG.
Yeah, M0AG in the group, M0ROL. Well, Eddie, yeah, the Ascot is a really nice camera, as Jeff could attest to, but you really need to use that on a tripod, but it's not the easiest to use handheld because of size and bulk and everything else. So yeah, it's a tripod camera. I quite like the twin lens camera that I've got. It's light. There's a leaf shutter, and it's you can sit in your hand holders, or in my case, rest it on my stomach, and it's sort of it's quite stable. Mike, I do hope that things go well with you, and I'll simply pass everyone's good wishes over to Dave when I speak to him, and hopefully he'll make a fairly quick recovery. And as always, Jeff, thanks for running the net tonight. Always good to have a national on a Thursday evening on the YouTube video from last night. So I couldn't make it, I'm afraid, but I'll do that. And in the meantime, wish everyone a good week and a good weekend if the weather does improve. And look forward to next Thursday. So for the time being, 73 from me. And I'll pass it back to you, M0AUG in the group, M0ROL.
M0ROL in the group, M0AUG, telling us fine enough, Andrew. And thanks for your contribution as ever. As well. It's surprising how many people interested in this hobby of amateur radio are also into the hobby of photography in one way or another. Yes, you're right. I only ever use the Hasselblad on a tripod because of the weight, etc., especially with some of the different lenses and backs and things like that. But the twin lens reflex was quite nice and light and better for, shall we say, the more casual type of photographs. So thanks for your comments and contributions there. Over to you there for your final take. G4IWO in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, okay, Jeff, and good to hear people here this evening. And can I say that Bob N4XAT has popped up on the YouTube channel to say that he's now got home and he's looking forward to getting everything connected tomorrow, and sends his greetings to everyone on the net here tonight. So lovely to see you back, Bob, and look forward to chatting with you on here, and of course also on CW if conditions start to improve. Yeah, Jeff, I decided to just experiment really. I used to use the DV stick before I got my Icon 705, and I just wondered if it gave me a bit more functionality, but in fact it's introduced a bit more complication to the setup I've got here, where I'm streaming live on YouTube at the same time what's going on, and I've got too many cables and too many devices to keep turning on and off. So I've made it more complicated, and I think the old aphorism KISS, keep it simple, is probably the best route to follow. And just in terms of our listeners on this channel, and for everyone listening here this evening, Our next online speaker at the Radio Club is on Wednesday, the 26th of June. We've got Lindy, K6EB, who wrote a series of articles in QST magazine, the ARRL magazine, on improving transmitter audio quality and doing some work on that. And if you look at his QRZ page, K6EB, Lindy, he worked in broadcast engineering for about 50 years of his life. So he's another one, a bit like Bob Harlow, obviously knows his stuff on the broadcast sound engineering side of things. And so that should be an interesting presentation by him in 2 weeks' time. And Andy was saying that 6 meters was open today to Japan from his QTH. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Anyway, 73s, everyone. Lovely to see you all, and particularly nice to welcome Bob back home at least, and hope that Dave is able to return to us soon, and I hope Mike, that you get your issue with your gallbladder sorted sooner rather than later, and free to go and enjoy portable activities and all the things that we all enjoy doing. So good night, everyone, and good day to all those who pick up this recording later on our YouTube channel. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group, M0AUG returning. I have to say, Nick, much better audio quality on that last connection. I know you've gone back on tonal mode, but it's far more crisp and clear than maybe you need to do a rethink on the configuration, possibly. Thanks for joining the net, Nick, and also keeping an eye on the YouTube channel. And Bob, welcome to you back, and I hope we can get you back on the net next week. That's Bob for X-Ray Alpha Tango, and look forward to catching up with you next week. Over to you there for Jeff for the finale. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG, the group of 8 November Tango. Yeah, okay, thank you very much, Jeff, for sharing the net. It was an interesting net again. Very good, and congratulations there, Mike and Adriana, with the transverter for Q100. Fabulous, really fabulous. Probably in autumn you will get better results because the leaf nut really plays an important role. I was thinking here also of doing that on my balcony, but I think this is probably too much, of a problem for my neighbors. I'm more looking into a helical antenna or something like that, which is better, I think, better for the neighbors. Okay, and also 73 to anyone on the YouTube channel, and especially to you, Bob. Nice to catch you again. Hope to meet you again on the air on CW or on PSK, well, on FT8, and probably here on the net next week, Bob. Very nice that you are back home. Okay, 73s to everyone, and I hope to catch you all again, maybe Wednesday on the Polda activity, Nick, or maybe Tuesday here on Tuesday here on the net. 73s from 8 November Tango.
November Tango in the group, M0AUG returning. Thanks, Jeff, for your contributions as usual, and your usual inventive ideas and everything else. You do a great contribution, not only to the net, but to the club as well, so thanks for all that. Thank you, everybody, for being on the net this evening, and also when anybody is coming onto the YouTube channel to follow up, great to hear that Andy and Rachel have been on, and also Bob as well. And look forward to having you back on the net, Bob, next Thursday evening, if you're watching the YouTube channel as well. So thanks once again, and good that your audio was much better on your last over there, Nick. And We're now going to close the net for this week, and as usual, we'll probably get the final picture for Moscow November 8, November Tango. So thanks everybody, this is M080G closing the Denby Dale Amateur Radio Society digital net for another week, and just standing by for Jeff's usual picture. 7-3 everybody.